Take a look at the first preset pack from A Fistful of Bolts. It is two color, two black and white, but it's really just one color and one black and white with two versions of each. You have black and white 1 and black and white 1 low contrast. And then you have color 1 and color 1 hard fade. Alright, so this image is a Nikon photo from Kristen Marie Parker, Seattle wedding photographer. Let's throw color 1. Boom, there you go. And color 1 HF. And you'll just see a big difference in the shadows and highlights. I see it most in the highlights. So if you watch right in here, those blown out areas, they'll just go from slightly clipped to very clipped. And this is the signature Fistful of Bolts look. The way that the shadows and the highlights fall off and never go to white, they're always hard gray, is just super appealing. And a lot of people have been emulating this look for the last 10 years or so. I did want to point out one thing on these presets, a tiny issue. Look at the chromatic aberration right here on the inside of his suit. A little bit of green fringing right there. On these presets, it is clicked to do profile corrections and remove chromatic aberration, but it's set to 0 here under manual. And I'd recommend, if you buy these presets, just go in and I normally set this to about 6. I've never had issues with the out-of-the-box settings with 6 for purple, and I think 6 for green as well. What you should look out for, if you are ever worried, is sometimes on the purple, it might grab like a magenta lipstick, and you might see like a weird edge around their lipstick where it's thinking that it's chromatic aberration and removing it. So that's the only reason I don't want to go above that number for a base setting. So I would open these presets, I would change this value, and then you can go back to your preset and you can right click and hit update with current settings and make sure that your lens corrections checked in that menu, and it will get rid of that somewhat annoying chromatic aberration. Cool, let's look at some more photos. These photos are based on Adobe Standard, so they work on any camera, modern camera that Adobe Lightroom supports for RAW. The majority of the look is both in the tone curve and the individual channels. Beautiful curve, beautiful look, super classic. There is also quite a bit of tweaking to the hue, saturation, and luminance. Mostly looks like saturation and hue, and then some tweaks down here in the camera calibration. This is color 1 HF. I think it's gorgeous. I think it's perfect. You can look and see the difference between the two color presets. The top one is clean, cleaner. Bottom one has the more standard Fistful of Bolts look. I think I would almost always use that. All right, let's try black and white. There's black and white 1. Super heavy fade on the highlights. Classic Fistful of Bolts look. And there's the low contrast. Usual, low contrast. Usual, low contrast. Cool. All right, let's do another color. Here's color 1. A lot of presets these days are really getting rid of greens. I think this one does it in a very pleasing way. And the heavy fade. All right, here's a photo by Samantha Arroyo. Black and white one, and black and white one low contrast. Here's another one. Let's look at color. These colors are so good. Just enough desaturation, beautiful, beautiful skin tones. Nothing funky going on. Easy to edit. The grain isn't too heavy, but gives it a nice, pleasing look. All right, here's another one by Sam Arroyo. Love that. Love it. One more. Beautiful. This is a really tricky light situation. I guess you find yourself in these situations where you've hiked to a crazy rad spot, but the light just isn't quite right, isn't perfect. That's just a really harsh highlight going across her forehead. I think these presets handle it very well, especially black and white. I dig that. I'm going to go to the high heavy fade. I just don't know if I like this preset, or sorry, not this preset, this image in color. Now, here's another example. A light situation that's just not quite ideal as far as the sun hasn't gotten low in the sky yet. When you put that heavy fade on, look how it clips the highlight information, but it makes it look like a low contrast scene. There's the regular preset and that fade. And that fade just evened out that dress so much. Shooting in a dust storm. There's color one. Heavy fade. Moraine Lake. Color one. Heavy fade. I think I like color one more on this one. Here's Iceland. Color one. And heavy fade. Beautiful. Here's another tricky light situation. Heavy fade, color one. All right, let's look at different photographer. These are Matt and Tish, Canon Mark IVs. Here's another example of the difference between the fade and the no fade. Watch the highlight on her dress. It's there, and now it's not. This look is just awesome. I feel like the faded highlights really even out that image. It's almost cheating. All right, nice soft light. Tons of reflective light everywhere. Beautiful skin. Easy. Let's check out the black and whites on this. There's black and white one. Nice contrast. And we'll take out the contrast. It's up to you which one you like more. Super soft light. Number one. And heavy fade. Here's backlit. Number one. Heavy fade. So creamy up here. Alright, backlit again. Beautiful. Love it. Amazing. These skin tones are dreamy. Let's check out the black and white. Dig it. I really like color 1 on this one. One more with color 1. Heavy fade. Looks like it's on Fistful of Bolts' blog. Alright, let's go black and white. One more in color. And the final image. Gorgeous. And with the heavy fade, beautiful. I think I like this one with the original color. Cool, so these are the presets pack 1 from A Fistful of Bolts.